And there we are.
Hello.
And then there was 3.
4.
Well, guys.
Got Luna.
Well, Luna. And then we got 5. We got Brooks.
Oh, yeah, we got Brooks.
Well, everybody, Welcome to the #1 show in Oklahoma. I had to.
I'll be your host.
Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing tonight? It's good to see everybody tonight. We're going to go ahead and just bring Brooks in. That way, if I get in trouble, she can get in trouble with me.
Great. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hey, Sarah. Hi, Kaylee. Mike.
Hey.
How are you tonight, Brooks?
I'm good.
And where's Tracy? I tried to throw Tracy up there, but my computer tonight, guys, is a little crazy. There's Tracy. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, Miss Tracy.
Oh, man, we got a good one in store for y'all tonight.
Best one yet.
We was going to go on a boots on the ground tonight, but the wind is so crazy, you wouldn't be able to hear nothing.
I want to be able to hear something's running at me.
And I don't want to be walking under those trees out there with that wind blowing like that.
Oh, you should be here. I've got these ponderosa pines, and I'm hearing stuff hit the house, and gosh, it's scary.
I'd be in complete panic mode. Is it
Yeah,
just
well-
wind or you like having sun?
No, it's just wind. And usually, I mean, you know, when the sun sets, the wind dies down. No, not tonight.
Yeah.
My nose is itching now.
Our tree pollen is like red on the red scale. They said it's terrible.
I tell you what,
Well-
guys, if I'm rubbing my nose tonight, you're going to have to excuse me because it's running faster than I can eat it. But I tell you, we're going to do everything we can to keep this show going.
Hey. I already threw it up.
There's the Lost Cryptids Conservatories in here tonight. There's
Hello.
Dana Afflictions in tonight. Herbert Blevins is here. We got Cowboy 30 here. He's a member. We got Tracy Gale moderating. We got Frida in the chat.
Hello, everyone.
I believe I seen Lori C in the chat tonight.
Yeah. Mindy.
Yeah, Kaylee's here. Kaylee's awake. And look at her hair, guys. It's not frizzy tonight.
It looks really pretty, Kaylee.
Thank you.
Can't tell she's Indian, can you?
That's a new one.
We got Corrine Wag here tonight. I think that might be a new person, a new viewer.
Uh-huh.
Let's throw her up there since she's new.
Hello.
Let's introduce her to the family.
Hi, Mindy. Yeah, there's Lori C.
Yep, there's Lori C. Which Lori don't let me see. I don't even know what she looks like yet, but she sent us a lot of stuff. I had to throw that in there.
You know what? Lori C is Tracy. Tracy and I have a stepsister, and her name is Lori, spelt that way, and her last name starts with a C as well.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. I tell you what, I do have part of our announcement tonight. It's going to be about Kaylee.
Oh, God.
I ain't gonna lie, guys. I'm just a little bit PO'd at her, but we're gonna hash that out in just a little bit. She's on my agenda tonight, top and center. A little show off over there, but we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. I'm having trouble with the Brooks. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that good.
Don't go too hard on her. She's innocent.
Yeah. Innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help it that people love me.
What's up, ASAP? Good to see you in here. I think that's a new one, too.
Is that a new one?
Please don't.
I'm gonna fight you on it, and it didn't
Yep.
it didn't give you the hand.
Still not.
There's Scott. He made it.
Let's see.
Hello, Scott.
Hello, Scott.
Scott's up in the house. Scott, I can tell you who's not going to get sent t-shirts. I tell you that right now. I know he knows what I'm talking about. He's probably laughing his
Outside
ass
of the
off.
sticks. Is that a new one?
South of the Sticks is in here tonight.
No,
Hello.
he said that he hasn't made a live in a while.
Oh, okay.
So,
Bless you.
Thank you.
Herbert, you're right, and I'm fixing to prove her guilty tonight. whenever Brooke said that she was innocent, I was taking a drink of my water, and it even made my water taste sour. So I know what's going on with her. There's Cindy Rose. Have we called her out
I
tonight?
don't think so. Hi, Cindy.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Cindy. Oh,
Meredith,
Hello, Meredith.
Margie.
yep, there's Meredith.
Hi, Margie. How are you?
Margie's in here tonight. Hello, Margie. Good to see you. As Sarah says, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in.
Come on in. Come on in.
Lori has a thing for you on there. You're hiding it. You're on
What is it?
Lori right there.
Mike Sour, anyway. Well, Lori,
Well,
we'll talk about that later too. I'm putting everybody on my naughty list, and you're going to get a visit from Krampus tonight.
Scott's family too. They were making fun of our accents.
Yeah, I don't have an accent.
I don't
There's
either.
Tanisha.
I don't.
I know.
I reckon I'm just a plain old Oklahoman.
I'm just a Texas girl.
Hi, Tanisha. Hi,
Or
Shirley.
Shirley.
Oh man, I tell you what, it's been
off.
it's been a good week. We've been having a lot of laughs. God has blessed us.
You better if my allergies wouldn't drive me crazy.
Yeah, mine too. But you know what? Who can be against you when God is for you?
Amen.
And
That's right.
he who is in me is greater than he who is in the world. So
That's right.
that's all that matters. It's his time,
100%.
his way. But we know that with his time and his way, it will be done correctly. If it was done in our time and our way, it would have so many flaws it would never hold together. So
Right.
we have to put our faith in him and let him build us the same way he did the ark, and let him shut the door, and that way it will be sealed, waterproof, and it will weather any storm.
That's
And I
right.
just made that up right out of my head.
Herbert
And that
said-
was really good. I'm proud of you. That was a good one.
Yeah. Sometimes I even surprise myself.
Surprise all of us.
Wait, whenever I want expert advice, I ask myself.
I wouldn't do that.
Wait a minute. I thought you called me.
That's right.
What I do is I call everybody at 3 a.m. and I say, "Hey, I had an idea," and everybody's like, "What?
Really?
Hold on, trying to find my light switch."
I know why he does that. It's because he calls us at 3 a.m. So we'll just agree with him because we're going to go back to bed.
And I
I
guarantee,
just go on back to sleep.
I guarantee you, Scott can attest to that too. The 3 a.m. phone calls. I'm surprised Scott didn't say I was calling him during the witching hours.
Mike, you need to get that one popped up there.
I know this thing is
It's not letting me. It's Cindy Rose
right there.
right there.
That one.
Yep.
Cindy Rose, Mike. Sure. Yeah, he's 11, and yeah, he likes to read.
Your chat completely froze.
It always does. I don't know why this thing's doing that. If I miss any of your all's questions or whatever, our chat on this thing, I don't know what's going on. Wow, these are dirty.
Oh, I'll try and watch too.
On our end over here, it's been freezing. It'll stop, and then all of a sudden it'll catch up, and it'll throw about 563 and a half just as fast as it can toward the top.
Zip. Yeah.
That's how much I pay attention. I can actually count those that fast.
Man, I'm impressed.
Me too. I need to get me a pair of these glasses.
Well, these are special, one of a kind.
Yeah. Oh man.
Here, you want to look through the eyes of an expert?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Lori, we appreciate what you sent. There is somebody out there, and I do not know who it is, but do you want to show what we got? Do we want to show them what was sent?
No,
Or just talk about it?
I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Somebody sent Hunter some gifts this week, and I don't. There wasn't a name on it, so I was wanting to thank him. So, whoever sent the gifts to Hunter this week in the big box, we really appreciate it. He will appreciate it too, and it has now been placed underneath the Christmas tree for him when he comes home.
Thank you very
they're really
much.
Yeah,
sweet.
that's where everything goes, is under the Christmas tree. Yes, Cindy.
Yeah.
As soon as he comes home, we have a Christmas tree up for him still since Christmas. It's not coming down till he comes home, and we're putting everybody's gifts underneath it. And we're going to, whenever he does come home and open them, there will be a video or maybe a live. I'm not sure which one yet. And you all will be able to see his reaction to all that.
There's Demos Mars.
There's Deimos made it in here.
Hello.
All right. Well,
Take us into it, Captain.
tonight, I'd like everybody to keep Red Tick Hound in their prayers. I have not seen him in the chat in a long time. So everybody, please keep him and his family in your prayers. Our other channel, our AI Seeking the Truth, is growing really fast. If you have not subscribed to that channel, you might want to subscribe. I believe we're going to be having a guest come on, and we're going to be doing a guest on that channel. And if you have not checked out our Wide Open Adventures, you're definitely going to want to check that out. We released a video today where we ate calamari chocolate cake and the buldak noodles.
Right.
That was pretty fun. Yeah,
Look right
I'll
here,
answer in
Nancy.
just a second.
Thank you very much, Nancy. That's very sweet of you.
So check those channels out. We got a lot. The calamari thing last night was funny. We released the video today, but you're not going to believe what's on the next video. All I'm going to say is we got to clip the toenails.
Oof.
So
Don't do that. I'm already sick to my stomach.
Did you see what Nancy said?
yes, thank you very much, Nancy, for that. And Cindy, I guess I'm just going to tell everybody I cannot go into the specifics of Hunter as far as any of that right now. But all I can say is that
He will get a book. He will get the book.
yeah, he will receive the books.
Mhm.
I cannot go into specifics. Nancy, we love you too. Oh, thank you, Beverly. He's a very good kid, a very good boy. I think we're going to be making some bumper stickers if anybody's going to be interested. The bumper stickers, what I'm planning on them saying is Hunter is home. That's my goal because I'm believing in faith. I'm walking in faith, and I'm believing in things not seen or yet proven. I'm just believing they're there, and I'm accepting them.
I'm going to create my own for now.
And Sarah's creating her own.
He was good whenever we got it.
Yes, Sarah's got some windshield. What is it?
It's windshield paint.
And she's
Window paint.
gonna paint on her window for Hunter and drive around. And we'll take pictures of it and of course post it for y'all to see. So these let's talking about mermaids tonight. And let me tell you, as I dove into this subject, I found some things I didn't even know. Imagine that. No. But yeah, I was very interested in some of the things I found, and I think you guys are going to be interested also. When I first heard mermaids, one of my first thoughts was, okay. And yeah, Kaylee was like, Dad, let's do mermaids. So I expect Kaylee to be a huge part of this conversation
I'll try
tonight.
to. My tooth is hurting.
Well, we're not going to try to, honey. We're going to do it.
Come on, Kaylee.
Talk to the pain.
Her wisdom teeth are cutting through.
So we all know the fallen angels corrupted all things. That's my belief. I'm not saying you all have to believe that. So please do not interpret anything I say tonight as me pushing my belief on you. I am merely explaining to you my belief and my opinions based on the information I have at hand. So, we believe that the fallen angels corrupted all things. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of the old, men of the renown. So if y'all listen, one of the key points at what he's saying here, and I think it's very, very important, is not only were they there before the flood, they were there after the flood.
Mhm.
Okay. So, hello, good to see you, Psychic Interconnections. We haven't seen you in a while. It's good to have you here with us. And I think one of the most important things about that is you hear a lot of people say whenever you talk about these cryptids is, well, that was back then. That's not now. Well, that's not true because the Bible says that there is nothing new under the sun. And God even says himself, they were here before and after the flood.
Mhm.
Now, how did they survive the flood? Well, there's many, many opinions on how they survived the flood. Some people theorize that maybe some of Noah's sons, his daughters, were not pure. Maybe they were corrupt. Maybe the possibility, the way some of them survived the flood, is we know that all creatures were, corrupted. So if you were a fish and you were corrupted and you were, and they flooded the earth, I think you would have been possibly able to survive the flood, the Nephilim blood. Now, a lot of people say, well, yeah, but the mermaids, they're not Bigfoot. Well, they're still the same DNA of the fallen. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter how it made it. It just says that it made it.
Mhm.
Um, there was a lot of corruption going on. I believe that there is still a lot of corruption going on. But I think in today's world, I don't think the corruption is now just the fallen angels doing it. I believe that our secret societies have stepped in and they've started their own corruption of the corruption. So God knows only what has been created out there. We have some pretty evil places out there, as y'all know CERN and everything. If they're trying to really reach out and speak across the veil and everything, I'm going to let Sarah and Kaylee kind of talk for a second before I go real deep down into this, because this is going to go deep. And Kaylee's the one that caused this. I've got a lot of studying for you.
Kaylee?
And I think Kaylee's going to be surprised at what I found. I found something that can prove your theory back to the Bible
What's my theory?
that mermaids are real.
Oh,
You believe they're real?
yeah. Well, the only reason I think they're real is because, the megalodon was real. So if a big shark that big could be real, why couldn't a mermaid be real? We've only discovered 5% of the ocean. We know more about the moon than we do the ocean. So there could be different things in different parts. And I even watched this. I even showed him. I even watched this video where a certain part of the map, a guy outlined a part on it, and it showed a mermaid in the map.
What she's talking about, guys, is this picture right here of the United States. She jumped forward on me, but this is what she's talking about. As you can see, the United States, somebody outlined it so you could see it better, but the United States resembles a mermaid on the west coast all the way down.
Oh, wow.
I'll be darned. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that they're real, but I don't think that they're like these beautiful creatures like everybody projects them to be. I think because
you're talking about long hair,
like pretty, everything like that. Because whenever I've read about them, it says that they're skeletal feature, because they're half fish, half human, but the upper half,
they have like resemblance of a human.
Yeah, their bone structure is different. I mean, they're human, but their bone structure is different. Yeah. But their faces are distorted.
But they also say that there could be different kinds, like different. Is that what you call them? A different pod, a group,
like form or something,
like something like that. They have like different, kind of like Dogman, Bigfoot. They have like different ones, and even the show. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called. I think it was actually called Mermaid on Animal Planet, like 2012, where guys went down into a submarine, actually caught footage of something resembling a mermaid or what they would say it was, and a hand touched there.
Yeah, came in.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they were going to get sued if they didn't go and take it down.
Mhm.
And so all that happened. And then there's been sightings of, we don't know what's real and what's not real, but then some looks really real. And then you go back to, Columbus.
Yeah, so I was talking about Christopher
Yeah,
Columbus.
where
Yeah.
I've heard theories of how whenever he sailed the ocean that he had in his journal written about mermaids.
Mhm.
So that's what I've heard. And that was way back.
Yeah, that's where I got where he says like their facial features are different than the normal
Yeah.
like human. Like some are saying like picture a fish that have what is it called that they scales,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the texture of their skin.
And they don't have hair.
Yeah,
I've
and
heard
they're
that, like,
bald.
yeah.
Yeah, they can be bald. I don't know. It's interesting to think about.
But I feel like there's different ones.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert, they do. We're gonna get really in depth into that here in just a second, because you know when I looked at this today, this is what kind of blew my mind. And I'm going to admit, whenever I done the Girl Scout murders, and I spoke to the shamans and to the elders, I've told you all this many times. They said that there is no dog man, no werewolf. No, it's all the same. If we really look, and let's say we go back and we really look at what they're saying, and we dive deep into what they're saying, maybe they're not saying they're all the same as in they all look the same. They're all the same as where they come from, the blood that they carry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you go back and you got people that say, well, they can't all be the same, because I saw a werewolf the other night and he had human legs, but I saw a dog the other night and he had bent backwards legs. I saw one the other night. He looked more like a bear, Barilla they talk about. Or I saw one the other night. He looked more like a yowie or a yeti, or, and in Florida, you got the skunk ape, and how they all look different.
Mhm.
But we all know that they're a cryptid and they're similar. So if you look at it, if all of these animals were corrupted by the same daddy, they would all carry his DNA, which would bring the similarities. But then you also have to equate into what he bred with,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to carry their traits.
Mhm.
And if that is right, a polar bear, Bigfoot, may be your Yeti, the white fur, the Barilla, the bear that's DNA was corrupted, the Bigfoot, maybe, and I'm not saying this is true, but maybe the Gigantopithecus actually was there, but it was corrupted by the fallen angel.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have all the same dad with all of the different,
Species.
yeah, so you have a variety. But when it comes down to it, a demon's a demon no matter what body it inhabits or what it looks like. So you're still the same.
Mm-hmm. God didn't create them.
Right. I would like to know how they're getting. Okay. Here's my theory, Lori. I think the way they're getting human DNA, and it's honestly, I think it was a very thought out deal. How many times have y'all seen on TV? If you poop in a box and send it to us, we'll tell you if you're going to have cancer.
Yeah.
If you send us your urine, we'll analyze it for you.
Mhm.
All you're doing is sending the government your DNA.
Well, hey, yeah, 23andMe, send me, swab your mouth and we'll find out who you're related to.
Right.
Kind of like I hate to bring it up, but kind of like the COVID test. They go so far in your nose with the Q-tip swab or whatever they call it. and then they ship it out to special labs or whatnot.
And you know, why would the oh man, I don't want to say their name too many times. I'll get my channel in trouble. Why would the people above us that know more? Why would they go out and steal our DNA whenever they can just have us mail it to them? Because that's what people are doing. Look at the your blood banks. How many people go give blood for money because they need the extra money?
Mhm.
Plasma.
You don't
Right.
know that all that blood is going to the hospital. I mean, they could take a syringe full.
Well, yeah, and then plus you still have the little bit that's left in the syringe after they throw it away or whatnot.
And I'm sorry, but I've lost trust in anything. And if they have access to your body, oh, I agree completely with Starfire. Also, alien abductions, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Taking the fetus from the woman, impregnating women.
Mhm.
I believe it's almost like that circle we talk about. It's almost like that cobweb that we talk about. It's all connected.
The spider web.
Too.
Yeah.
Keisha?
Even women who donate their eggs for extra money, yes. Or the men at the sperm banks, because it doesn't take millions of sperm to make a child.
Hmm.
All they have to do is put so many embryos inside of a woman or whatever. And where does the rest of that go?
Oh well, see, yeah, and you've heard of cases where people took the sperm of one guy and gave it to all these women. That's been in the news in the last few years. Yeah, all these
Mhm.
kids
And what
out
about
there
all
were
these?
his.
And what about all these people that are seeing people that look a lot like them, and then a lot of people are getting married now, and they're finding out later down the road that they're related, and they're like, "There's no way."
Kind of like I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a boy that we've been watching on TikTok, and literally everyone is wanting to know why he looks just like Elvis whenever Elvis was little. And he
Huh.
has his same voice and everything. Everybody's trying to study up on this kid right now.
Well, if you think about it, the elites, right? They're going to want to keep what they call the prime DNA. Your smartest doctors, your best singers, your
Mhm.
scientists, and all that. They're going to keep all that stuff and try to reproduce that.
Mm-hmm.
And say you reproduce it, but it doesn't turn out the way you want it. So you just send them down the road, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, right here it is. Cindy Rose said, "Yep, the poop on the card saved my life. The colonoscopy revealed trouble, 10 inches of diseased colon. I would not be alive today if I had not done it. Don't be scared of the colonoscopy." No. I'm not saying that you should be afraid of it. I'm saying, what does our physicians and stuff do with the leftover?
Mhm.
You have you have the people that are medical runners, and I'm glad, Cindy, that you're okay now. That's a blessing. We're glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, amen, Cindy.
Um, it's these leftovers.
Yeah.
In Japan, and Scott kind of run this for me tonight. In Japan, they have what they call a monkey fish. Have y'all heard of the monkey fish?
Mm-mm.
Scott says it was a proven. It wasn't real, with hoax. But I didn't find that part. But I believe Scott. He's one of our researchers, and we have a good team of people that catch a lot of things. So I'm going to show you what they were talking about. Oh wow, that's scary. Psychic interconnections. That's like one of those horror movies I've watched. Let me see if I can find the picture here. Here's one of the pictures of the monkey fish that Japan says existed.
Oh.
Yeah. Yuck.
Looks a little like Kaylee in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
But
Oh, that's
Get that elbow flying, Kaylee.
Let's see if I can get this. Hold on one second. Okay, see if I can. Let me see if I can show you a little better. I've got another picture too of the monkey fish, and they were saying that this was real.
It does look
Yeah, that's
half
weird.
like animal, half fish.
It does. It's weird looking.
Kind of like the mermaid. Ooh.
Well, maybe since tribes like now that are coming into the whole it's goes to like incest thing. Maybe they have something along like that, and that's what comes out.
Maybe.
Yeah, Psychic Interconnection says it looks like a mermaid to me. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah, we know a lot of it, and that's whenever I found that it was fake, I did what I always do. I went to the Bible, and I use the Bible as my concrete basis for evidence and investigating. Because when you investigate, and I know Herbert knows this, he's a retired police officer. You have to move from something you know to be factual in order to be able to investigate something to find the outcome. Because if you start with something that's not true or legit, then you're only looking at theories.
Mhm.
This is what really blew my mind, guys, and I'm going to give you the scripture with it. 1 Samuel 5:2-7. Dagon was the form of a fish from the navel down. Okay. Dagon is also known as the father of Baal or Baal, however you would want to say that. He was the fish god, the little g. Dagon in Hebrew means fish. Dagon is mentioned 3 times in the Bible. Judges 16:23, where we are told that Dagon was the god of the Philistines. The Philistines offered a great sacrifice to Dagon, believing that their idol had delivered Samson into their hands. 1 Chronicles 10:10 mentions a temple of Dagon in which the head of King Saul was fastened. Samuel 5, Dagon is brought to humiliation by the true God of the Israelites. So, if the Bible says there was a man that was part fish from the navel down, I have to believe that.
Yep.
He ultimately was, brought to his demise by the God of the Israelites, our God. It was also rumored that the Ark of the Covenant was set before Dagon's statue, and every time that they would go check on the statue the next morning, it was on its face in the dirt before the Ark of the Covenant. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really interesting to find that actually in the Bible.
Oh, that's weird.
To me, it just gives credibility.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true, Sig. The Pope wears a Dagon pointed hat.
Wow.
So, I mean, I have a picture of what they talk about Dagon looking like. Did I not get it uploaded? Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I was rushing around. To me, if it's in the Bible, we know there had to at least be one guy that was part fish from the navel down. And then I think it's pretty awesome to me that when they put the Ark of the Covenant in front of the statue, even the statue, bowed to the Ark of the Covenant. So that gave me some goosebumps. That was kind of good to hear, What do you think, Kaylee?
I'm trying. I can't talk that much.
Just having a hard
Yeah.
time.
What do you think?
If it's in the Bible, then I'd believe it.
Yeah, I believe everything that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm waiting
That's-
on the picture to upload too, so I can show y'all the depiction of Dagon.
The Bible's a true word of God, so whatever's in the Bible
It's
is
just-
true.
unreal to know that there are beings out there like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's scary because I mean it makes you really think about things, you know.
Mhm.
And here we go. Here's Dagon. This was the depiction of Dagon.
Oh wow.
I have to wait for it to
Yeah.
pop up on my phone.
There's your merman.
Oh, I've seen that one.
So that's
There
yeah,
it
that's
is.
what I was gonna say. Here comes the merman in
There's
play.
there's the merman.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
Frida, I think she says, I believe what the Bible says about
So
this.
I
I'm
wonder
just
if
not
they live like
convinced.
in the deepest, darkest part.
So
just not
she's not
convinced
convinced that
these are
these are
real
real
examples
examples
of
of
these
the creatures. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we don't know that the monkey fish is a true thing. We do know, and it goes back to when you investigate things. Whenever you have more than one person that witnesses the same thing, and especially large groups of people that witness the same thing, then you have to at least give credibility to them that something did happen. And we have too many sightings. For instance, a fisherman from Puerto Rico was filming the water when he caught a human-like figure that seemed to be walking under the water with a very reflective eyes. He speculated it to be nothing other than a mermaid because it was a human form with what he called a fish tail. So
Okay, what Sig says, it's what you said. Keep in mind the world was flooded and all the life was destroyed except in the waters. So that explains a lot. Okay, but two, you've got to remember, even though there was a flood, the fallen angels are still here.
Mhm.
And even after the flood, they started messing with the DNA again. They started
Right.
over.
yeah, because the angels aren't going to die. They're infinite.
Right.
They're
They
eternal.
didn't go poof with the flood. They're still here.
All the flood destroyed was the corrupted DNA of the living animals,
Hmm.
the things that were flesh and blood, if you will.
Yeah, and that's why Noah sent the animals to the ark. Noah didn't go out and gather the animals. God sent the animals to Noah.
Mhm.
And that brought me to another theory too. People trying to flee in the ocean going to be in for a surprise. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Mr. Mars. That's very true.
Mhm.
So whenever you read a lot about these mermaid encounters, I noticed that there is and I'm just putting this how I used to investigate, guys. I'm trying to place this more of as an investigation, and that's what I tried to do with tonight's. I tried to find evidence to correlate with what we're trying to do here, and a lot of if you look at your cryptid encounters, what is one of the most things that we hear people say? The eyes were glowing, the eyes shine, the eyes were very reflective. It's always the eyes. We hear most of the time it's the eyes.
Mhm.
I got to thinking about the eyes. So I started looking deeper into, okay, why are they talking about the eyes? So whenever I got to looking, and of course I done some digging today, and this is what I came up with. The eyes acting this way would possibly indicate that the tapetum lucidum is reflecting light back into the retina for night vision.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if you look at a lot of things that does this, you have, and this is going to be weird to you guys, fish have it,
Mhm.
dogs have it, cats have it. A lot of your animals that hunt at night have it. So then, if that's true, and these cryptids have this reflective bars, as they call them, in the eyes that allow them to take very minimum light and to be able to use it to be able to see very well.
Mhm.
There's my moon theory again. They don't hunt in the brightest part of the moon because they don't have the advantage that they have in low light waxing and waning of the moon.
That could explain why they stay hidden when people
Because-
use flashlights.
Right, because a human that goes out, right, in the middle of the night, you have a full moon. On a full moon night, you can see pretty well outside in a field once your eyes adjust.
Mhm.
So these creatures or beings, they would not have the advantage in a full moon that they would have in a quarter or a waning or a waxing.
Right.
Because then we don't see that well, but their eyes are reflecting that light and they have very good eyesight with their smelling, with their ability to move, with their predatory instincts. With they still live out there, they still survive out there. You're in their home.
Mhm.
You don't stand a chance. So I think a person, and even by the accounts I've looked at of people that's been attacked, even if you look at dog attacks at night, most dog attacks do not happen on the full moon. They are in the waning and the waxing. These animals use the advantages that they have to hunt.
That's when we have most of our encounters.
Oh yeah, giving them, I think, the true meaning of creature of the night.
Mhm. Yeah, Cindy, he went off into the land creatures. We'll get him back in the ocean.
Well, speaking of that, since you came up with the moon thing, I don't know if you've watched any like kind of mermaid shows or whatever, but the one thing that they have in common is the moon. So they say that like I guess it kind of makes sense because you know the guy that I showed you that would hear him, it was mostly always at night. And in the movies, it was like the moon gave him like an extra power strength thing.
Mhm.
It always had something to do with the moon.
And
Right.
most of them always wore a moon
Mhm.
necklace.
See, I would disagree with the moon giving them extra power.
Well, that was only in the movie.
Right,
yeah.
right. I think the moon plays a role in as far as the having the advantage. And I'm going to get back to the water now. Like, okay, most of your people on the ships that have encounters with the mermaids, right? If you think about it, whenever you go fishing, and a lot of you fishermen go fishing, what happens whenever you're in your boat and you go fishing and you take and you drop colored lights under the water? Why do you do that? Because
Attracts the fish.
it attracts the bait fish. And whenever you attract the bait fish, what comes after the bait fish? The predator fish.
Mhm.
So these big ships moving across our oceans are using these large lights because you're shrimping, you're fishing. They use
Yeah.
huge lights. You are bringing in bait fish. If these mermaids eat fish, which I would say they do, they
Yeah.
would have to eat stuff of the ocean.
Right.
They're following these large ships not because they're after the humans on board necessarily. I believe that they are opportunists, but when you're pulling in those huge fish nets and stuff, you're losing injured bait that's not going to swim away as fast. It's like following a buffet.
Mhm.
So whenever you go out and their eyes are equipped for the low light.
Mhm.
So if they, and just like the cryptids, when you have a fire, they don't come into the fire; they stay at the edge of the fire.
Right.
Mhm.
That's where the low light's at. That's where they have the advantage. And I'm sure that
Right.
whenever these mermaids, whenever they're hunting, they're not going to be right there in the brightest part of the light.
Mm-mm.
They're going to be on the sides of this light hunting.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that that's just my theory.
Well, even I've heard of talking about them hunting. I've heard of the fishermen that go out and have the nets, and they pull in fish, and they'll find fish with primitive like arrowheads in them. They can't figure
Yeah.
that out.
Well, that goes back to what we talked about, that one night when we were talking about it. Why are we still finding primitive tools in the wild that are not dating back far? It's because I think these creatures are still hunting the same way that they used to hunt. They're still because they're not going to go to Walmart and buy a shotgun.
Right.
No.
Hardcore.
So so they're still going to have to be able to eat and survive. It's just somebody said they worked in the hospital and stuff. Whenever I worked in security and with the police department and stuff, a full moon night would bring out the crazy people. Again, I don't know that the full moon has a actual effect as far as a power on people, but I believe that the full moon does. You have brighter light, people can see better, they move around more.
Well, I'm going to say that the moon has a lot to do with everything, just like the sun and the earth. It's all connected because
Right.
without the moon, there wouldn't be any tides.
Right.
But that's where your tides come from is the moon. So I think it's all connected. I think, in my opinion.
Right. We always used to say that they just had more light to thieve. It was just because if there's light out there and you have somebody that's tweaking, they're not going to sleep. But it's if you think about it, it's pretty scary to know you're in the woods and these things can see you so good.
Try being in the water.
Yeah.
Or what about swimming at night?
That is black.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You're out there, say, jumping off of your boat at night, swimming.
You can't see nothing. It's pitch black in the water.
But what's under you watching you?
You ain't no
Exactly.
telling.
That makes me think of what the creature from the Black Lagoon having something come up and grab your leg. Ew.
Heck, in our
Wouldn't that
water,
be
maybe
scary?
Or maybe that's not your friend treading out there a little ways from you that's looking at you.
Mm-mm.
That's why I don't swim in lakes.
Neither. If I can't see my hand an inch underwater,
If I can't see my toes, I ain't going in nothing.
No.
And another thing you have to think about is if these traits were passed down by the fallen angels, what other traits do these beings have? What else can they do?
Dry the inventory.
I mean, they said that Satan, he had instruments inside of his body. I still believe that there's a good possibility that the instruments were his vocal cords. I believe that they were different than ours. He was able to make different sounds. He was able to make different noises, maybe higher, lower than what we're able to hear. And if he's able to do that, what's to say that the wood knocks we're hearing aren't really wood knocks? What if they're sounds that they're actually generating through their vocal cords?
Could be.
That's talent.
I mean,
See what Frida said.
Frida says humans are mostly water. Maybe the moon's tidal forces have an effect on people. And that would be a really good theory.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have honestly been at the lake and you're fishing or whatever? You know what a beaver sounds like swimming. You know what a fish sounds like it jumps. But how many times have you been there and thought you've heard something walking in the water or something swimming that sounds like a human?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't know what
Hey,
it was.
I've been camping here in the mountains where I'm living now, and we were camping on the river. And at late at night, we'd hear something turning over the rocks, and it wasn't little rocks; it was big rocks. Now raccoons can't turn over the big rocks in the river. But yeah, we heard that all the time too.
See,
I would random.
Hmm.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Psychic, I'm guessing you must live in Florida. She said she's more worried about sharks and crocodiles in the water at night where I live.
Or Louisiana, one of the two. Yeah.
I want to come out of the water with everything I went into it with. uh, well, Herbert always has to shave after a full moon. So, Herbert, I'm not coming around your house during the full moon. I don't want to get bit and transform
funny.
and start hunting people. But you know, a lot of this also made me start thinking of this. That green thing I seen at the lake. When the waves are coming in, it's hard to hear when you're at the lake. I mean, they really do. They're loud. You know, waves block a lot of sound.
Mhm.
What if that green thing that we saw didn't come from the woods behind us, but what if it came out of the water?
That's possible.
It could have, because we were surrounded by water where we was.
Right, there was water all around us. What if it, because we always thought it came out of the woods, but what if it actually swam up and came out of the water?
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
didn't hear nothing in the woods that night.
Maybe that's
We-
why it was shiny and reflective on its skin.
Ooh, and it had the
One-
yellow shiny eyes.
the
And the
water.
big eyes.
And you said it looked like a big frog.
Yep.
It did. It
It
had
did.
that scaly skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it kind of looked like a frog whenever it would be wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had
Yeah.
that wet looking frog slimy look.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So, man, that's scary to think, because now if you think about that, think about this. When you catch a fish, what's the first thing you do? You walk to the edge of the water
Oh man.
and you stick your hand down into the water and you grab the fish.
Or
No, I pull
whenever
mine out.
Well, yeah, but think about it. What we do whenever we bait our hooks with the worms or whatever, we get on there and shake our hands in the water to get the worm dirt off.
We
of
wash
it.
our hands off in the water, you
Mhm.
know, when we bait our hooks.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to
Oh man.
that makes me wonder this. What if all these children that go missing and humans that drown, that are found drowned, how do we know they fell out of their boat? Maybe they were washing their hands and something reached up and grabbed them and pulled them in the
And that's
water.
how, did you hear what she just said?
I can't hear her, she talks so low.
Sorry, I said, how do we know that the fish on our hooks get off?
Whenever you hook a fish, you know, and you almost got it to the bank, and then all of a sudden, boom, your fish is gone.
Yeah, or your line breaks.
Mhm.
We've had our line just take off and you can reel and set your drag. It don't matter. Your line just goes and goes and goes and then pow.
Yeah.
Well, and two, talking about that, that going drowning in the water on the mermaids and stuff, they said those sailors, that the mermaids don't think about it, or when they grab those sailors, they're not thinking that that sailor can't breathe underwater like they can, and it drowns them.
Mhm.
Or do you think because they're mermaids, they're killing us on purpose?
Could be.
The Nephilim.
Could be.
Do you think they eat us?
I don't know.
I don't think.
They would almost-
That's
almost-
possible, because the natives said that the giants, which were Nephilim, were taking their women and children and eating them.
Cannibals.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that human tastes like pork. So if you're in the ocean all the time and you're eating seafood all the time, you might want something that tastes a little different every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I could see them eating
I
us
could-
just because
yeah.
they're half.
But you have to,
Human.
but
I
you
mean,
have
there
to
are
remember.
cannibals too, so like.
But you have to remember, they're not from our world part,
Yeah,
part of
that's
them.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're down there at night and you feel like someone else is down there and you sound like it feels like you hear a radio, how do you know it's a radio, not them just out there? Because I've heard that they sing and can attract you and hypnotize, or how do you say that word?
Hypnotized.
Yeah,
She
you-
said, "What if you hear a radio at the lake at night and it's not really a radio?
Hypnotized.
What if it's
Yeah.
them singing?"
Yeah, it could be. Well, it's kind of like with the baby crying in the woods.
Right.
And the
They can do that in the water too.
The whistling.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sailors said that sirens would use their voices and singing to lure them to seal their fate.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they would go to check to see if there was a lady over there or whatever, and of course they would cause their ships to go into the rocks, and their ships would hit the rocks and sink.
Or they pull them overboard.
So, and then here's another part, and this is what I want your all's opinions on. I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Herbert. We had one found in our lake.
Yeah, Herbert, I've heard that story, and they actually did find an octopus in our lake. They don't know if it was placed there by somebody or if it was actually there, but it happened. And a lot of them say that there's a huge octopus in the lake by us that actually kills people. It's also rumored. This is really deep. Sirens or mermaids are the result of the course of the curse God put on the women that interbred with the angels that descended on Mount Harmon. They were cursed for their role in creating the giants that are given account for starting in Genesis 6. That's one of the huge theories at where these creatures came from.
Well, and the Greek say sirens and mermaids are different. The Greek says that the sirens are half human and half bird.
Oh, wow.
I've never heard
Mm-hmm.
that. I've heard that they're different, but I've never heard that.
So
But
that
she's-
was,
I didn't hear what
she said she'd never heard that. She heard they were
Uh-huh.
different.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Greek believed.
Well, Grandma used to say that some of them things flew.
Yeah.
Well, think about the squirrel.
Right.
What? It flies. Squirrel. It flies.
I think this is the one Kaylee was talking about, the deep sea fishing guy that heard strange voices.
What's his name? Did they say his
Yeah,
name?
I saw that too.
There's a deep sea. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think if he's not careful, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. What about the Thunderbird? I had a person tell me, Lori, that they're having actual sightings of the Thunderbird right now in a national park that is not too far from me. If I get my Durango running, me and Sarah and everybody, we might take a trip up there.
They said this guy right here has a lot of info on mermaids.
Who is it?
Don
Let me.
Duvall.
Hold on.
Don Duvall?
Mhm.
They said Don Duvall's supposed to have a lot of information on mermaids. Okay, here we go. Nothing is more scary than listening to Bible thumpers create out of the fear and lack of true understanding of the deep meaning in the Bible. Those who take those books literally are the worst kind. I don't elaborate a little more before
We got
I
timed
think I
out.
know. That's what I was thinking. If the vermin is saying that he believes that we're taking things out of context, I think you're better served to stay in the Word than to create your own understanding of what God is trying to say. I think if you read the last page of the Bible, he gives a pretty good warning to what will happen to you if you add or take away from the Bible. Of course, everybody's going to interpret things differently. We're meant to do that, I believe. I believe that, some verses in the Bible have different meanings for different people at different times of their life. But they need that. See, our God is so wonderful and so great that he could write words thousands of years ago that are still true today and still changing lives and are still there to comfort us in every situation of our life. That's how powerful our God is.
That's true, Lisa.
Well, and he's saying, nothing more scarier than to create fear and lack of true understanding of the deep meanings of the Bible. Well, there's a lot of things we don't know about the Bible. I mean, a lot. And these are what we're talking about is things that have been going on for thousands of years. There's been stories of mermaids for thousands of years. We're not creating fear. We're just talking about what has been said and told.
Very good, Brooks. That was, I mean, Christopher Columbus. He said he saw him.
That's right.
I mean,
Oh, wait.
it
Christopher Columbus is creating fear or scaring everybody here.
yeah,
Come
and
on.
it's like people say we're supposed to hide these things and not talk about these things because they're scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to talk about the scary things because you know what? God said the moon would turn to blood, it would turn red. The moon right now is rusting at a huge rate right now, and they don't even know why it's doing it.
And we've had blood moons.
I mean, the actual moon is turning red, and NASA does not know why it's rusting. They said it does not have the components to rust, but it is rusting at a super fast speed. If we don't talk about these scary things, then I think it's more scary to leave people out there not knowing the truth. I would rather know. I mean, okay, if somebody's going to send you into a dark room, right? And they say, okay, Sarah, we're going to send you into this room. It's going to be pitch black as hell. You're not going to be able to see. But somewhere in that room, there's a crocodile. Don't step
scared to death.
Don't step on him, right? But all you have to do to get away is walk across the room to the little bitty light on the wall, and there's a door under there, and you just open it and go out, okay? All right. If I know there's a crocodile there, I'm going to be listening for it moving, breathing, scratching, whatever, and I'm going to move slowly and. Or would you rather them just to say, oh, we're going to send you through this black room, and if you make it to the door over there, you just got to open it and you're free. So you just go bebopping through there, step on the alligator, and next thing you know your leg's gone.
I'd rather be told.
I would rather know what's out there waiting on me than not know what's out there waiting on me.
Kind of like how God tells you to spread the gospel.
Yeah, like what Kaylee said. God said to spread the gospel, spread the word.
There's just some people though that don't want to hear that.
That's our job here as Christians is spread God's word.
Yeah, Michelle says it really good right here too. Go back to your feel-good church that doesn't actually study the Bible. Our Bible, the actual word of God, is very supernatural.
Absolutely, 100%. And then it goes back to, what if we, in our time and day, saw God part the Red Sea? I mean, that.
Right.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine seeing that?
That'd be incredible.
That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah,
Because if you didn't, Herbert, they were gonna feed you to the alligators instead of the crocodiles.
Why would you go in there to start with?
I think there's a difference between Bible thumping fear and then talking about actual events. We're not telling people that you have to believe this way.
Mm-mm.
And we always tell people at the beginning of our show, this is our opinions based on the information we have, and sometimes we don't all agree on the same thing. And I think different opinions and different theories and different outlooks give us answers to things. If we all thought the same way, I think that would be a pretty boring world, and we probably wouldn't get anywhere, because when one person failed, that would mean everybody failed. And I think different approaches at different problems are the way that we end up conquering problems and finding solutions. Sometimes, out of 10 people do 10 different things. I think you got a better chance of finding the answer than you do all 10 people saying, well, he jumped off the cliff, let's all jump off the cliff,
Right.
If there is good, there is evil. Yin and yang, I guess. But it's just, to me, you go back and you read the Bible where it talks about Dagon, it's a very interesting read.
Well, too, that and it's like Michelle just said, it describes some of the beings that are around God, that they're not, they're all different looking. They're
Oh, yeah,
kind of
because
scary sounding.
angels don't look the way we've been told
No.
they look.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
The way I Mm.
And if you think about it, it makes sense. What did angels always say when they appeared to man?
do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid, fear not.
Mhm.
Because these are warrior angels. They battle the demons. These are not little soft-handed people. These are warriors.
But didn't they say
Yeah.
only the warrior angels look like that?
I think that they all have different looks, but I think that they're all very powerful, very
Yeah.
mighty looking. I mean, every time they, even when they appeared to Mary, be not afraid,
Yeah.
These tidings of great joy.
because these things are amazing. There was fire from the sky when Moses parted the Red Sea, and the sand has clearly been melted at a point of crossing, even human footprints in the solid melted sand. That's very true, Arkin. Is that Jesse? I'm wondering, Arkin.
Arkin? Hers is arcane.
I was just wondering. I seen it, but I didn't want to be rude if it was her. But yeah, I mean, they're finding chariot wheels, they're finding helmets, they're finding swords.
Mhm.
You know, that's true too. Yeah, there is a lot of posted videos on YouTube from fishermen of mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
There was one guy that actually was filming mermaids, and the 3-letter alphabet came onto his ship and took his phone, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Ryan Coleman.
Ryan Coleman.
He had to make a new TikTok because they didn't.
Yeah, he had to make a whole new TikTok and everything because they took all his footage.
Mhm.
Oh
But-
man.
But yet they're fake. But the 3-letter alphabets are going to come and take everything you've got. But they're fake, guys. They're not real. Now give me everything you got now.
Yeah.
If not, they'd probably injure you.
Right.
Tyrone made it in tonight.
Hey, Tyrone. Good to see you.
Hey. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, we've been talking about a little bit different subject tonight. We got talking about mermaids. Kaylee was interested in them, and I think she studies them a lot. It was like I had to really jump on and try to catch up on these. I haven't really made it that far into them. They are interesting, and I did not know that it went back to the Bible. I didn't know that.
That's
So
good to know, though.
yeah, it was very interesting. And for those of you wanting to look again, I can give you the verses again. It was 1 Samuel 5:2-7 is where you're going to want to read.
You have this one.
It's very important, I think, to know, where this stuff comes from. 1 Chronicles 10:10 is another one. Judges 16:23, and
You have it in your email.
I think, to me, that kind of stuff is very, very interesting.
It is.
Yeah, Tyrone, that's what I was thinking too, because we was just talking about. Imagine swimming at night. You have no idea what's swimming under you at night.
Now, do you want to go swim in the lake?
Look, I even freak out swimming at night in the pool.
I'm not gonna lie. If I get hot, I hate to be hot. If I'm hot ass out there in the lake and it's hot, I will take a dip.
You know what I'm gonna start packing with us when
What?
we go fishing if I get too hot?
What?
I ain't taking a dip. I'm taking a dunk because I'm carrying a 5-gallon bucket and just
There
dumping it.
you go. I was thinking the same thing, Sarah. I think I'll have a bucket with water. Yeah.
I was hoping that she said dunk and not dump, and then when she got to the 5-gallon bucket, I started moving my hand over to mute, and I wasn't for sure where that was
Don't go
going.
there. Yeah.
I'm gonna take me a 5-gallon bucket and take me a dunk.
was like, where's all the
If you
water?
need a 5-gallon bucket, you probably should have done that before you left the house.
Oh man.
Um,
There ain't no way. It was
Wow.
5-gallon bucket. That's good enough for me.
When you get done, you can pick the cord out and catch perch.
Ew.
But yeah, I just thought it was I think you were clarifying that. I was starting to wonder. I was like, well, are we going to have to mute the show for the first time?
Hey, Brooks knew what I was talking about.
I did. I was thinking the same thing. I was. Well, yeah, I'm not getting in that lake either.
Nope.
Oh, see, but I'm the kind of type that I've had heat strokes before, and if I start getting too hot, I know that I have to cool down. So
I'll dump a 5-gallon bucket of water.
yeah,
Make sure it's water.
I mean, I told Brooks just the other day I was coming home from fishing one time in the truck, didn't have no air conditioning, and I had to load the boat by myself and everything, and it was hot, and pulling that boat in and strapping it on the trailer in the heat by yourself, and then you're driving with no air conditioner. I got overheated, and I was crossing a low water bridge. It had some running water. You know, it had been raining. The water was clear. I parked the truck. I waded out in it, and I sat down, and the water was about that deep, and I just let it run across me. Then I just sat there and cooled.
You know what I would have done? I'd have laid right in the middle of the road, parked my car up on the hill, turned the flashers on because you can see that water.
Well, they
right
think
there
you
on
went
the
out there
road.
and they think you died.
Yeah.
Somebody come up the hill and you got your flashers on laying in the water out there.
Pretty close. I was having a heat stroke, and I ain't submerging myself where I can't be.
They say, oh no, Lulu died.
Just said, Lulu, it's okay. It's just hot.
I tried to get her to wear a bow on top of her head the other night, and she wouldn't do it. She said, I'm not wearing no bow on top of my head. And I was
Put a
like,
bow in my bun.
yeah.
Get some
Oh,
Cairo syrup and stick it on there.
That's funny. That's what she said. She swam all the time. Oh. I swim all the time in the river and lake all the time. And it's creepy.
Yeah.
I've had things
Yeah.
swim up, touch my legs and stuff while swimming that I didn't know what it was.
See, because I used to go
Right.
swimming in a little creek with my friends whenever I was younger. That makes you think, was that really a fish or a turtle brushed up against your leg? Man.
Mhm.
You don't never.
Well, yeah, I swam in lakes when I was a kid too, and obviously I didn't know better and didn't know what I know now. I won't do it now.
Brooks and I are just going to carry our buckets.
That's right.
5 gallons.
Spray bottle.
Yeah, 5
Yep.
gallon buckets.
Oh,
I would
man.
be like drenched.
Yeah, but I don't really sweat so much.
Well, everybody, I think we're at the end of the show. That's pretty much all I've got for y'all. If you got any questions, put them in large capital letters. Again, if you're not part of the Patreon or part of the YouTube members, you can join that and you'll get extra content. We got a lot of good things planned. If you have not checked out our Wide Open Adventures channel, go check it out. And I've got to get on to Kaylee now since she's top of my list. She's getting more likes, views, and stuff than I am. And we cannot have that happening anymore. So kind of back off on the likes on hers and send them all to me. But yeah, go over and check out our Wide Open. Sarah's yet to make a short. She's supposed to be in the competition, but we haven't got
You know
her
why?
to do it
I'd
yet.
blow you all out of the water.
I suppose we did that for you.
Mercy Seat says, I heard about the Cindy Rose. Also, they have a fishing tournament, I believe there, but it's in Africa where they have to throw the first fish back because of them. Wow, that's interesting. Huh, I never heard of that. But I don't think anybody had questions over tonight.
I think we answered all of them.
I think so. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll let Brooks start heading us out, Sarah, and we'll end another Saturday night live.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate each and every one of you. We love you. Thank you for helping support Bring Hunter Home Now. And we love you, and we'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thank you all for joining us tonight and talking about these mermaids and everything. Thank you to all the new faces that joined. It was good having you guys here with us. Come over and see us over at AI Seeking the Truth and also on Wide Open Adventures. we would really like that channel to grow for the boys. Hunter and Logan both love that channel because they can interact with you guys on there. Thank you all for this continued support with Hunter and the rest of my family going through this difficult time. We greatly appreciate it. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Good job.
Thank you.
Like she says, we're blessed and thankful for each and every one of you for coming and showing up and just being here to talk about all this stuff and just have fun and learn new things. And thank you for the support and bringing Hunter home. We appreciate it so much. And God has blessed us good with all of you in this channel. And I'm blessed and thankful for just being able to, all of us to come on here and just give you all what we think is information and stuff and have all our ideas. But thank you for showing up, and I pray that y'all have a good and blessed night.
And to answer your question on the megalodon and the giant squid, I believe that they're probably just prehistoric creatures, probably not Nephilim. That would be my guess. But I do believe they're still out there, and I believe there's a good possibility that they are still out there. I want to thank everybody for your continual support. Your support's been enormous. It's heart touching to see the hearts all the time whenever I go in to answer the questions on the videos. And, sometimes I get a little frustrated and I say it takes, a lot of time to do the 3 channels. But then whenever you go read the comments and how thankful people are and you see the hearts, and it makes it all worth it. It's a long, hard fight, and that's true. Sometimes even myself, we question things that we probably shouldn't question. And the only thing I know to do, and the thing that I've been doing, is I just give it to my Father. I know that whatever His will is and whatever He wants done is going to happen no matter what tries to stand against it. Psalms 91 promises me that my enemies will fall at my feet. And as long as I allow Him to be my shield and I stay under His wing, He will protect me, guide me, and give me everything I need. I'm not perfect, and I have my fleshly desires, and I make my fleshly mistakes. And that's why I needed the Lord Jesus Christ, because I'm not perfect. And without Him, I would not have a chance. And because He felt that we were worth it, even though we're not, none of us are, He died on the cross for us. He even prayed in the garden, told God if there was any other way, because He knew what He was about to go through. And without Him, I don't, none of us have a chance. So no matter what the world says about you or how the world judges you or what's going on in your life, just remember, nobody walks in your shoes. You're walking your own path. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows your fight. Nobody knows your obstacles. But God knows, and He knows your heart. And it doesn't matter what this world judges you or what this world says you are or what Satan or the enemy tries to put upon you to make you look a certain way. The only thing that matters is God knows your heart and you know who you are. And in the end, the true judge and the true judgment will come, where those will stand before everyone and they will know them for what they are and for their fruits, and you'll be seen for yours. Amen. Thank you all very much for watching. And we will see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you. And just remember, there ain't none of us perfect. But with Jesus, we're all going to the same place. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
God bless.